Good evening. I'm the Maven of the Eventide. Welcome back to Vampire Playthroughs.
Don't you introduce me or something?
No, you're supposed to.
Why do I have to do all the work? I am Paul. Hello.
Once again, we are playing Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York, the visual novel.
I've had no lunch and a lot of wine, so pardon me.
Not to be confused with Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, which we are also playing. But we want to finish this game up so we can focus more on that game. Last we left off Julia, the intrepid investigative journalist turned detective. She had just made a new friend in Tamika. Our old pal Tamika from the first game, who Julia is just meeting for the first time. But we remember she was going through the Ventruse coterie, remember?
Yes.
And now Julia is going back to Big Beat Burger, apparently.
Old habits, they do die hard.
I finally reached Big Beat Burger, hoping to recuperate from all the mental damage accumulated over the past few days. Only to find out the doors are locked and nobody is inside.
Even they've had enough of you.
No. I need to be soothed. I need my routine.
Find a place better than Big Beat Burger.
You've absolutely got to be kidding me. Closed? What the fuck do you mean closed?
I see burgers every day and still maintain a figure.
I think she just sat in there and smoked.
Oh.
Now you're this
Can't
mohawk
smoke
guy.
inside a restaurant. I like his shirt, says bad girl. I want one of those. I mean, we are in the middle of a pandemic. Everything's closed.
How did I not notice the pandemic going on?
Well,
This wouldn't be the middle of the pandemic. It'd be the start of the pandemic, right?
When did this game come out?
2020.
2021?
It was being made in 2019, came out in 2020. So.
Oh, I guess they just updated it to be topical and current.
I mean, you know, New York City.
This is true.
Pandemic? What pandemic?
I knew he was going to say you live under a rock. Ugh.
But I don't. I'm a reporter with my nose to the ground. Don't I read the news?
I mean, a grindstone is a rock, so you have been living under the grindstone. You live under a fucking rock? It's a new SARS virus, straight from oh, God. The whole world's gone crazy over it. We're crazy we're cuckoo for the coronavirus. People are dying left and right.
Holy shit. I didn't know something like this could still happen in this day and age.
People are going
Somehow,
crazy for it.
It always felt like we were beyond it. Yeah, you know, if the government actually did anything instead of telling people just to wash their hands.
The public sucks.
Well, I guess it's lucky I'm dead.
What do you mean by that?
I walk away to avoid bringing more attention to myself. Yeah, you know,
Other
I just
than
go
admitting
around
that you're
announcing that I'm dead.
And I have no idea what the pandemic is?
Yeah, I'm a goth, you know. Maybe that's just metaphorical. Now I understand why NYC feels downright apocalyptic tonight. It's like a psychedelic experience to see these familiar streets empty and abandoned. Oh, this must have been March 13th.
I mean, imagine if we were still living in New York during pandemic time and you're able to walk around the streets and only a quarter of the foot traffic. That would be so weird. Cool, but weird.
Well, let's see what parts of the city are still alive in the middle of a plague.
How come they didn't mention coronavirus until just now?
Maybe this was just the time when it happened?
Is that Justin McElroy down there?
Let's see. An aristocratic taste.
I feel like this game just took a weird
2
turn.
days. It just took 2 days for the city to go all last man on Earth. Huh.
Oh, so she wants to do the same thing, just kind of soak in the atmosphere of a quiet New York.
This seems more active.
But why? What? Why would you go to a smallpox hospital?
I don't know. I'm a goth.
That makes no sense to me, but
It sounds more interesting than just soaking in the atmosphere.
you're the character.
An aristocratic taste. All this malaise spreading through the boroughs is putting me in a weird mood. Seems like I can't outrun it, so maybe I'll intensify it instead.
I mean,
Smallpox hospital, here I come.
an aristocratic taste sort of says that you would be seeking out some high-level bloods, yummy, cognac blood. But you're going to a smallpox hospital for infected crap blood.
Is it like a historical smallpox hospital, or is it an active smallpox hospital?
I don't think smallpox is a thing anymore.
That's what I'm curious about this place.
Ooh, maybe it's like that abandoned place on Roosevelt.
Yeah, maybe it's this New York landmark or something that we can go check out. That's why I'm curious about. So that's why I'm going to do this one.
Okay.
It
is. This is Roosevelt.
Yeah, we went there. We saw the cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
I entertained the thought of sneaking through a hospital to see how things appeared up close, but it looked like an actual war zone, so I decided against it. I don't know what I expected with the way healthcare reforms have been going this state. Ooh. Fewer facilities in poorer areas, fewer beds, less funding. We're just reaping what they've sown.
Deep cut, Poland.
That's why I used to honestly consider going back to the old country. An American friend was like, why would you go back to that shithole? Hey!
Where was she from?
Poland.
Oh.
He was shocked to learn that we have normal, free healthcare.
All right, getting a little preachy there, Poland. I mean, I agree 100%, but ouch.
Anyway, if an active hospital won't do, this one might. The smallpox hospital on Roosevelt Island.
Got it.
Built to quarantine the poor and the unloved victims of pandemics away from normal citizens' eyes. In spite of its disrepair, maybe partly because of it, the architecture still manages to perfectly convey the building's painful history. There are ghosts here, but they're mostly the good, metaphorical kind, not the kind I usually see.
I think the building's in better shape than it actually is, but I like it.
Looks like there also might be a lone physical being here. I hear someone sneaking through the ruins. That's that for my peace and quiet. Oh well, I needed to satiate my thirst anyway. How do I approach that person? I want to do shadows. I like shadows.
Shadows. It's the name of the game.
I become one with the shadows. I let the flow of the void take me in the direction of the footsteps. Eventually, a female shape appears in front of my eyes. Slowly, I emerge from the darkness behind her back.
Nothing personal, kid. Turns out she's a 30-year-old baby. Wah, mother, wah.
Only to spook my target the moment I do. In her panic, she drops something on the floor. It breaks into 1,000 little pieces.
Oh, why did I take my china teacup to Roosevelt Island?
God, don't scare me like that.
Oh my God, it's oh crap. What's her name for Janine?
I'm sorry. Look what you made me do!
Look what you made me do!
She kneels to pick up the pieces of some ugly glass sculpture. The shape is familiar.
She must collect ceramic unicorns.
Was that a Scrooge McDuck figurine? Yes, it was. A Carl Banks design. They stopped making these decades ago. You don't even know how long it took me to find it. I was really looking forward to decorating my haven with this.
Wait, haven? Capitalized?
She must be a vampire. How did I not notice that? If you look at her eyes, they are kind of red glowy.
Oh. Carl Barks is, in actuality, a Disney cartoonist.
Yes.
And the creator of Scrooge McDuck.
Yes.
You say this like this is common knowledge. You knew this?
I grew up reading old Scrooge McDuck comics.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, that was my jam.
What are you thinking about?
My favorite jams. Apple cider jam.
Red pepper jelly jams.
Hey, Scrooge McDuck. It's pop art, okay? Haven. Of course, now I realize what I couldn't put into words. It was the feeling she might be kindred. It's weird that vampires can't just automatically know.
They have like an aura or something, or their blood would smell different.
Yeah, or like they just look
stale.
Dead. You know, it's like they look so human that vampires can't even tell one of their own. It seems weird to me. She seems airheaded and eccentric, but I wouldn't want to pick a fight with her. Call it a hunch. I apologize. My name is Julia. I'm a La Sombra representative for this city. Some representative you are. Absolutely horrible first impression. Somehow, we've never met before. You'll live here? I prefer keeping to myself these nights. More time for hobbies if you hide in secluded places like this.
Hobbies.
I I don't know what kind of accent she has.
No, that's great. I love it.
What's your name?
What's your name? Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Just call me Princess. Princess.
Weeks?
My true name is for friends only. And after destroying my treasure, I count you as a sworn enemy. When you least expect it, I will find you, and I will trap you in a reality of eternal pain. I should complain to the court, at least honestly. Tell Helene to start looking for a replacement. So sorry, won't cut it, huh? Kadir would surely be thrilled to see Prince Helene assign me with the mission of looking for a rare Scrooge McDuck statue, but I'd prefer to avoid that fate, even if it doesn't seem very likely.
I mean, my question is, why was she just sort of carrying it around on Roosevelt Island?
I think she was bringing it home because she lives here. Like, she just acquired...
There's like 50 people live on Roosevelt Island.
No, she lives in the abandoned ruins.
Oh, that's right. She's the whole vampire thing, right? She does not live in a complex or...
How can I make it up to you? Should I, like, search for a replacement online, or... whatever. I'm not going to lie to you. I prefer not to stay mad for long. It's exhausting, and it's a threat to your beauty, both inner and outward.
Evidently.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to ask you for a small favor, and then we'll be square, and I won't have to worry about becoming ugly. Sound good?
Snooty.
What favor? See, I'm super into low art these days. That's why I collect stuff like Scrooge McDuck lamps. I used to be hardcore into high art before, studied at the harmonic structure of Bach's cantatas, taught myself Arabic just to weep over Middle Eastern poetry, read a lot of Joyce and Adorno, etc. Eventually, these hobbies got boring, as all things do, so I'm switching it up now.
I mean, low art's a lot cheaper.
Comic books, heavy rock music, modern Hollywood movies, you know, stuff made for small children, basically.
Yeah, that kid's metal. Love it.
That kid's death metal.
Baby metal.
That is an actual genre.
Oh, no, baby metal's awesome. They're the best.
Problem is, I still think I'm not low enough. There's still too much mastery of the form, too much restraint, too much respectability, too much tastefulness.
Says the lady with the Scrooge McDuck figurine.
I want to feel... Hey, my mother collected Scrooge McDuck figurines.
Your mother is also lowbrow.
Hey.
She collects thimbles and spoons.
I want to feel the rush of gazing into the soul of someone willing to admit to truly degenerate desires and obsessions.
Impressions?
Oh, those too. So I want the lowest kind of art you can find. Just sweep me off my feet and we'll be good.
Should be pretty easy to find.
Not the kind of request I expected, but...
Just like a 15 minutes in Spencer's and no problem.
How low is too low? There's no such thing as too low.
Yeah, Spencer's.
Huh. Okay. Back when I was alive, I refused advances from some guy who lived just outside of Astoria. He definitely still owns some incredibly low art.
All right,
What exactly should I get her?
Point of fact, nobody says they live outside of any specific borough. You're either in one borough or you're in another.
Yeah, if you're outside of Astoria, you're in Long Island City,
right.
Or like Flushing.
No one would say that because there's lots
How
of...
can you be just outside of Astoria?
It's neighborhood pride, yeah.
You say the neighborhood you're in, not the neighborhood you're not in.
There is no outside anywhere, unless you're in Staten Island.
Okay, what do I think she would think is low? I feel like a fantasy book she would think is probably like craft and form.
If she wants
Video
to go
game,
lowest of the low, we'll get her anime DVD.
Well, is it dubbed?
That's too low. Don't insult
She said there
her.
was no too low.
I mean, if you want to go that low, then
right,
yes, go dub.
Okay, I'll be back in a jiffy.
Look, I got season 1 Samurai Champloo dub.
Why does it take me an hour to get to Astoria? It's like the closest borough to here.
Where is she?
Did I go all the way past Astoria to Flushing?
I mean, Astoria's like right across the bridge.
Right, why did it take me an hour? It takes me just over an hour to get there, wake him in the middle of the night, mess with his head a little, and get back with an appropriately low work of art.
Who is she going to?
The guy who used to like catcall her and harass her.
All right. I mean, she's outside Astoria. So that could be anywhere within like a 50-mile radius.
She went to Yonkers.
Great.
Why did I have
I'm back from Buffalo.
Why did I have to wake him up and mess with his head? Why couldn't I just steal the thing and leave?
That's not you're a Lasombra. That's what you do.
So, got something?
Still here, huh?
Don't be shy. What is it? I pass her a DVD box with a busty hand-drawn girl licking a giant katana.
Oh, ninja scroll.
According to the description he printed for me, this thing is named Birusu no Daibuken.
Can you translate that at all?
Daibuken.
Meaning, risk, face, defy, dare, damage, assume.
So it means the risk of Ririsu, whoever Ririsu is.
Let's see if it's a thing.
No,
right with you, folks.
Ririsu is just someone's name.
Yeah, it's a female name.
Yeah.
So
Ririsu's risk.
Like the fate of Ririsu.
Ririsu is Lilith. Because
Okay.
Lilith, L is R in Japanese, so Ririsu.
But the other word had nothing to do with carnival or carnivals. It was like risk or, whatever.
I don't know.
Alright, anime.
The cover says Lilith's Carnival. Yeah, no idea why the name is written like that. Anyway.
I love it.
This 90s original video animation presents us with the tale of 5 big-bosom samurai warriors traveling through America in search of General Hatsavista, the Incubus King.
Sounds like 7 samurai just with boobs.
Don't let all the titillation misguide you. The main draws here are peerless direction, a nearly avant-garde editing rhythm, and dialogue that coyly comments on traditional gender roles in anime.
She's reading the back of the box, I guess.
Yeah, so if this was made in the 90s and it's already commenting on traditional gender roles in anime, like, is it commenting on 80s anime? Like, how much traditional anime have you got by the 90s?
Right.
Once you see the animation in the final battle, you'll understand why it never fails to set a Sakuga fan's heart ablaze.
I know Sakura means like beautiful, right? So
This is Sakuga. Sakura means cherry blossom.
Well, that's Sakura. A sequence of noticeably higher quality used to highlight particular.
So a Sakuga is a type of anime sequence. Note, Sakuga.
Oh. No, wait, that's exactly what Google said.
In Japanese animation. Anime, a sequence of noticeably higher quality used to highlight a particularly important scene.
They went to Wiktionary for that. Hilarious.
So, yeah, it sure does sound like low art.
Unless they're wearing push-ups.
And they always are in anime.
Yeah.
Eyes down, I await her response. This is great! It is? Yeah! I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I can feel it's utterly degenerate and naked in its intentions. Just what I needed.
Oh, we should have went to the hentai section.
Believe me, I have more than enough art trying to dazzle me or win me over or be used as a stepping stone in someone's illustrious career. I just want someone to be like, screw it. I don't want to impress anyone. I won't want to get anywhere. I just want to vomit out my soul for all the freaks like me to see. I think that, in its own way, that might be the ultimate form of art.
Eye of the beholder, I suppose.
So, is my debt paid? I suppose.
$150 glass figurine, I'm sure, for like a 50-cent DVD from the bargain bin.
So, can I know your name now? Let me think. No. Art.
Less than 3.
She turns away and disappears into the night. Oh. That was an interesting distraction from all the Malays in the city. That was an entirely pointless side quest. Could I have failed if I brought her the wrong thing?
I don't think so. I think no matter what, she would have loved it.
I suppose it's time to go back to the miserable business I've been saddled with. Yeah, go back to the plot. The time comes for me to meet up with Kadir and hopefully Dangelo too. Last position on my list? Should be last person on my list?
Last position? Maybe like the last stop on my list? Maybe just a kind of an awkward translation.
This better be good.
And that is D'Angelo's agency.
Looks like a dump. Blech.
Perfect for the clan of the hidden.
I thought he wasn't hidden. I thought he was missing. And to be honest, I kind of expected the worst. Why would look for him in the most obvious place?
I've been asking around and I've got a hunch. Just trust it and start looking.
Fine. Who's D'Angelo, anyway?
Didn't you play the first game? He's a good man, a useful man, but it took me time to get used to him. He takes sleuthing very, very seriously. His thing is acting like an idiosyncratic noir detective. I heard it helps him cope with something, but I never felt comfortable tackling the subject.
Doesn't sound too quirky by the city standards. Wait, what is that? There's a rat on the floor, frozen in an unnatural position. Weird shit.
Kick it.
Despite my disgust, hey, I didn't think I had to pick it up. I was just gonna peer at it.
All right.
I picked the rodent up.
She's nothing but not thorough. Now, that's what being an investigator is all about. Leave no dead rat unturned.
Shut up. This is so gross.
You didn't have to touch it. What have you found out?
I take a close, hard look at the rat. It's alive, but from what I see, she's just stretching out and, grinding her teeth without a care in the world. I changed the pronouns because we don't know that the rat's a boy.
Yeah, I know.
Unless she's saying rat balls.
I refuse to say anything about the rat balls. That's called bruxing.
How do you know about, rat behavior, Kadir?
What is bruxing?
I don't know. I feel like it's some rat. Okay.
Unless they're going to, give it, copy-paste the Wikipedia thing on that as well.
When I was in 6th grade, I did a report on rats, and I never heard of the word bruxing.
No. Bruxing refers to the clenching or grinding of the teeth in pet rats as noise made when they grind their incisors together. Normal sound heard when a rat is relaxed, but can also occur when the rat is stressed. Great, that tells us nothing. You can do it when it's relaxed or also very stressed.
I also owned I owned pet rats for many years. I never heard them grind their teeth.
You never heard them grind teeth?
No.
Oh.
What?
When a rat chatters its teeth, that's bruxing. It's not exactly panicked or aggressive, so I guess he's just happy.
I look at its face. I don't know. His eyes keep coming out of the socket and going back in. It looks disgusting. Like he's in a lot of pain.
So he's boggling? He must really be content.
How does he know so much about... Never mind. I'm getting an eerie feeling. This is weird, man. I have a feeling there's a kindred hiding nearby. Weird.
My thoughts exactly.
Kadir slowly approaches a secluded corner of the room.
And there it is.
He kicks a pile of clothes lying on the floor.
I'm just a corpse. Leave me alone. Lucky for you, we're all corpses here, D'Angelo. You're among friends.
Clumsily, drunkenly, the pile of clothes transforms into an unkempt man who looks like he's suffering from some sort of skin disease.
You know, a true friend would just bury me. Unlucky for you, we're not that kind of friends. Ah, lucky, unlucky, schmucky, my ass. How did you guess I was here? See, I've been asking around for the past few days, and what I've learned is that for reasons that can best be described as nebulous, you've made yourself quite a few enemies in the last year. Yeah, tell me something I don't know. And one thing that has caught my interest is how everyone has it on good authority that your place was raided a few times without you being found, yet nobody has assumed responsibility for these acts. Yeah, doesn't this den always look like it was just raided? Can't blame anyone for making an educated assumption. I had the hunch these might be more than rumors. See, it sure looks like a convenient coincidence that everyone hears something that makes them look the other way, and coincidences are for fools. Well, you've got my number, and you can see my ugly mug right in front of you, so it's no use playing dumb, I suppose. Agreed. You've seriously spent all these weeks holed up in here? Is the hunger not getting to you? Yeah, you got a lot of critters around these areas, and we become chums. Some of these rats actually got addicted to the kiss. They come around me every night acting like coke hounds, just begging for it.
How do you not kill a rat by drinking its blood?
It doesn't seem to have a lot of blood.
The kiss is the fancy romantic word for taking a nice deep drink of mortal blood. Why would this guy be using fancy romantic words? The recipients usually enjoy it almost as much as the bestowers, though not in the same way. For us, it's sustenance and taking care of a deeply rooted need. Most people I drink from end up dazed, but happy.
Well, it's because they get orange juice and cookies. Been getting them drunk just to get some rush out of feeding on them. Feels a bit like slathering a horribly burned piece of pizza in ketchup, but in this situation, I'll take what I can get. You dig?
Well, that's why he has a flask. He's been getting the rats drunk and then drinking the drunk rat blood.
You will eat the pineapple.
It's so gross, I failed to keep my poker face. He notices.
So who's the dame? Julia Sowint, a detective investigating Barra Callahan's death.
He raises his head for a short while to stare in Kadir's eyes and treat him with a vulgar snicker.
Phooey. So, somebody has finally put the old man on ice. Whoever did it did the world a huge favor.
Absolutely, but I got orders to establish who that was, and I've been stumbling in the dark for the past few days. We need your help.
Read my hat. Hell no. I'll be damned. Your sleuth skills must really be not up to par if you're begging a bum for help.
Say I'm not a sleuth, because I am.
I say have some dignity.
Nah.
No, come on, lift him up.
No, that's insulting.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, he is also a drunk, too.
It's an unusual case.
How so?
It's extremely political.
Pass. Hoi, I asked, how is it unusual?
It feels like the game was rigged against me from the start. Like I'm just bumbling around and achieving nothing while everybody laughs behind my back.
Jeez, you sound hopeless, kiddo. Haven't you ever read a Chandler book? That's how it always is. Just do your best, endure the embarrassment, and hope that you stumble on the answer by accident.
He accidentally lets a metal flask in his hand slip out and fall to the floor, and struggles to pick it up. Kadir can't bear to watch.
God. What happened to you, Gianni? I've never seen you this low before. Stress-related disorders. Causing a disruption to my routine is what I think a shrink would say. Happens a lot when shady folks are out to put a stake through your chest.
Help us out. Tell us what you know, and we might be able to help you in return.
Hear the hat. Don't make me tap the hat. Yeah, respect where it's due, miss, but I think it's going to be the other way around. I ain't telling the two of you shit, pardon my French, but until I know I can count on you for some protection. Gianni. Don't you Gianni me, Kadir Asmai. I know your level, but I know that your honor is one of the few things you care about. You want me to endanger myself, you put it on the line for me. And that's that. You either promise to extend your protection to me, or the moment you step away from here, I sneak into the sewers and that's the last time you'll ever see me.
Kadir shoots me a wary sideways glance. I know. He drives a hard bargain.
Especially for someone whose sense of self-worth does not exactly appear to be sky high at the moment. Maybe. But I do value my own life quite a lot, thank you very much, friends.
Kadir sighs.
Is it just a coincidence that he mentioned a Chandler novel and also mentioned Friends in the same text box? Alright, but 3 months from now, the moment Prince Panad tells me it's no longer possible for the court to offer you safety without compromising its principles, you're on your own.
That's pretty generous. I thought he would just protect him through the course of the investigation.
Yeah. No negotiations. It's the only deal I can strike with you. Take it or leave it.
Dangelo scratches his head, grunts loudly, tugs on his mask, and stands up.
Oh, look, he's masked up. He knows. Even though he's dead, he's still wearing a mask and setting a good example.
This was before, masks even became
Well, no, it's the middle of the pandemic.
No, it's the very beginning of the pandemic.
Just around.
She says it's only been 2 days. We're talking March 15th here.
No, I mean, people are already dying in the U.S., so it's got to be like... Well, anyway.
I mean, the shutdown.
Yeah, that's true. That's Jake with me, big fella. I might have strong opinions about Penard, but hell, I'm sitting on dynamite now. Take what I can get. Who else in New York would you rather rely on? You want me to call the mayor? My opinions about the prince aren't that bad. So, what do you good folks want from me? What's he holding? Looks like a syringe or like one of those like little...
Is he vaping?
No, it looks like one of those things you like inject donuts with, but like the chocolate in the middle.
Who wants you dead?
Sign the interrogation with the tricky one. Wouldn't I like to know? Step up, Gianni. You seem to be forgetting how quid pro quo works. Wouldn't I like to know? Won't cut it. Now, what can I tell you? That warlike Agathion, or whatever his name is, presumed dead. Tamika, MIA, with the SI on her back, so possibly KIA by now. Hope the kook, hidden by office under Vanna Waden's skirt. Around the time they started having trouble, some rough-looking streetwise kindred started hanging out in my usual spots. Didn't take me long to connect the dots.
Wait, well, what is the connection between you and those three?
Ever since last year, folks started hiring us for various gigs. Some even trying to get us to join their coteries. All these opportunities were rather short-lived. However, the delicate tightrope act of working for various employers made us fully aware. There's an intersect alliance in NYC. Kindred from both sides often work for the same goals without even knowing it. The moment we started figuring it all out, a cleanup crew went downtown. I know this serious warlock boy sniffed something out in his own backyard, but then poof, he disappeared. Then I lost all contact with Hope and Tamika and went AWOL. Hope they're doing fine. They didn't snitch on me to anybody.
They are, and they didn't even tell me you guys knew each other, so I think you're safe.
Wait a second. Why were you milking them for intel, kiddo?
I found a list of 4 names on Callahan's remains. You can probably guess what they were.
I get the picture, yeah. Christ almighty.
I've heard it was just a list of freelancers, potential associates, probably prepared by Carter Vanderwitten.
My money is on him being involved, but I smell bullshit. Have you got any idea who might have done the boss in? Any more clues? None at all. That's where we want you to come in, friend. Investigate the murder scene. The only way you know how. Tell us what you think. Guide Julie in the proper direction.
Dangelo sizes me up, scratching his head.
Sure, whatever. I'll try my best, kiddo. Lead the way. I'll drive you there, or at least as close as possible. I wouldn't be welcome that deep in Anarch territory. Just clean yourself up a bit. Gianni, I've had my upholstery cleaned earlier this week. I'm watching you.
After dropping us off at the same place Catherine first introduced me to Mia, Kadir quickly drives away. Here we are.
Swell. A classic closed room mystery. Well, let me take a look.
He starts walking around the office, carefully taking in every element. Is the body still there?
Oh, goodness me. So, you're saying you're basically a nobody, but you can simply call Catherine Weiss and have her open Sesame and Anarch crib for you? I don't know, sure sounds like somebody to me.
Don't misunderstand. I have only met her during the course of this investigation. Everyone's basically been treating me like dirt wherever I go, and I'm only acknowledged enough to legitimize this sham.
Lord Castlereagh.
Now, that was an abrupt interruption. I was busy sharing, damn it. Excuse me? Oh, this guy. He's pointing at the painting of the man overseeing this entire office.
I met murder on the way. He had a mask like Castlereagh. Very smooth he looked, yet grim. 7 bloodhounds followed him.
He seems to have completely switched his modus operandi upon seeing the murder scene. He's in his own little world, and his behavior has become more machine-like, erratic. I still don't follow?
I never knew the old Irish coot was into the Napoleonic area, but then again, I've no idea about his exact age, of course, so maybe that's when he lived. Or was born. Anywho.
Pay minimal attention to me, all right? Who am I looking at here?
Right. That one's Lord Castlereagh, born as Robert Stewart, a British Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs at the beginning of the 19th century. Incredibly influential. Incredibly hated. Ask one fella about Castlereagh, and he'll tell you he was a man who destroyed Napoleon for good. The man who shaped British politics for ages. The man who built the foundations for European unity at Vienna. Ask another fella and he'll tell you he was the man who destroyed the Irish Parliament, the man who cracked down on any possibility of reform and then supported the cavalry massacring peaceful protesters. I've turned into Howard Cosell.
He's spouting these facts like a computer. Is that a hint of a detective's photographic memory?
I have to say it's downright perverted for an Irishman to put up Castlereagh's portrait in his office. Definite proof that our victim was sick in the head, as if we needed more evidence there. Probably idolized him too. Maybe identified with it even. Yeah, that's possible. Callahan and his ilk adore those jagoffs who strive to reach across the aisle and achieve hard compromises. Too bad nobody else ever remembers them well.
I feel like I should say something. I've got this nagging feeling in the back of my mind.
Oh, wait, it's annoyance.
How did he die?
Committed suicide in the 1820s. His family took every sharp item away from him, but he was dedicated.
Why did he do it?
Precious mountain from all sides. Deserved hate coming from all sides, too. Plain old overwork. Also might have gone nuts. Kept saying he saw ghosts, otherworldly silhouettes were guiding him, yeah.
Unpleasant feeling grows in my stomach.
Also, there's a rumor someone was threatening to expose him as a homosexual. Having to choose between being publicly denounced and ending it all by his own hand, he chose the latter.
Well, that's just depressing.
Maybe. But the silver lining is he couldn't have happened to a nicer fella.
He stops above Callahan's corpse and laughs. Why is the corpse sitting there 8 days later? Really? They just leave the corpse there?
Well, I mean, it's not like it stinks. It's already dead.
More poetry.
Posterity will ne'er survey a nobler grave than his. Here lies the bones of Castlereagh. Stop, traveler, and piss.
And he kicks his bones with glee, causing me to jump a little. Is he still under the influence? Isn't that tampering with the crime scene?
Kiddo, as far as I can see, this crime scene has been fucked 3 times over. Can't really be ruined more than it already has.
I agree, but it looked about the same the last time I was here.
Then it was already a total mess before you got here. Whatever.
Standing by the metal shutters on the windows, he abruptly changes the topic.
Lightproof. Have you toyed with these?
No. In general, I avoid machinery like that. It doesn't like me, and I don't like it.
They don't like you?
They don't work properly. It's like I give technology an allergy. Sometimes industrial cameras mess up my face. Sometimes I can't use a phone. You think it could be useful, but it's just a curse.
I see. You think these blinds could have been the murder weapon?
How so?
Let me explain.
Please do.
Let's say, for some reason, our stiff was standing there as the sun was rising. Maybe staring at poor old Castlereagh, looking for a soulmate to accompany him to the other side. Yet another guy pushed to suicide by politics. Pretty old school, romantic, yada yada. Or maybe it was torpor. Or maybe it was a freak accident. Maybe it was premeditated. In any case, sunlight would be a perfect murder weapon. No?
Took his mask down.
He did, for dramatic effect.
I guess. He takes off the mask to shoot a disfigured smile my way.
Well, that's just a theory. A game theory. Anyway.
Well, it sounds sound.
Does it? Because I was just spitballing. It's practically impossible to make certain now, kiddo. The most logical cause of final death would be damage to the heart, and that could easily be done without damage to the skeleton.
And he sets off with a wink. What is he playing at here?
The safe. Anyone made a crack at it yet?
As far as I know, only Callahan knew the code, and the safe itself is pretty hard to crack.
What safe? Gosh, it's not obvious enough. Where is it? Watch me, kiddo.
He presses an ear to the safe and slowly begins to rotate the dial. Stop clowning around. You're a safe cracker now? Get out of here!
When you're cursed with a countenance such as mine and you decide on a job such as mine, you gotta be a jack of all trades.
Yeah, but still sounds pretty hard.
Last year, there was a random fella visiting a heritage museum in Alberta. He found a safe that hadn't been opened in 40 years. Not a single specialist or even a blacksmith could have handled it. The man just studied the numbering, listened closely to the mechanism, attempted the most sensible combinations, and voila! The unthinkable happened. That's what trusting your instinct leads you. Too bad he found nothing inside but an old pay sheet.
Metallic screech! The door opens! I'll be damned.
And it looks like we got the same case here. Confetti. A few random papers scattered around. But for what it's worth, the lock has obvious traces of mechanical manipulation. Probably recent, too. Reeks of foul play. But what do we know for sure, really? I'm done here. You can take over.
Another wink, another walk in a random direction. I look inside the safe. Quite spacious. I haphazardly grab everything that's left inside the safe and hide it on my person. And close the door so that nobody knows he managed to crack it. When I turn around, he's motioning me to come closer to a sheet of paper lying on the desk.
So yeah, kiddo. You probably know the entire beeswax about Schrodinger's cat, and I'm not gonna bore you with that, but honestly, anything could have happened here.
I read the text he's written on the empty page. This place is wired. It gives me chills. I think I'm okay. I've tried to record my own voice a bunch of times on different hardware just to see if I can. It mostly comes out as noise. He nods and starts scribbling something else as he continues blabbering on and on.
The best strategy would to make an educated guess about what happened here and then interrogate everyone about it. Maybe you'll take someone by surprise, drop a hook on them.
The wiretap is in a chip in the broken glass bottle on the floor. Absolutely sure it belongs to Kaiser. Kaiser, the elusive information broker, the talk of the city, finally got an excuse to nab him. I understand. I think I have an idea how to use it to find him. Should I notify Kadir? Scribble, scribble. Takes longer than before.
So yeah, I'll be meeting up with Kadir. You stay here, sister. Maybe there's something you've been missing.
Recall, doll, you're going beyond his jurisdiction, so he will try to stop you. Whatever you do, just give me a 10-minute heads up. You know, so I can get to relative safety. For sure.
It's back in the sheriff's custody for me. See you around, Julia. Sorry this old codger couldn't have been more help.
Okay, whose ass? His ass?
I guess Kaiser.
Whatever I got was plenty. See you around, Dangelo.
And then we visited the planetarium.
I've got a plan. Now all I need to execute it is a clueless bystander.
She's still hungry.
We have a plan? This guy will do.
Nom, 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 nom. Do you, need me for anything else?
I guess it just ate him. Not really. Better take a hike before the guy you've just called shows up. I can't guarantee he won't make you hurt. Oh, she used him to call Kaiser.
Will do.
Puts his head down, obediently trots away down the street. Might have messed with his head a little too much using my wily kindred charms, but I needed him to tell Kaiser where I want to meet quite clearly, multiple times. I would have given him the kiss as a thanks at least, but I told the big man I won't be here all night and that he'd better hurry up, so I want to be ready whenever he comes, so I guess I didn't even get to bite him.
I know, you were hungry.
Less than 15 minutes later, a menacing black limo takes a fast, sharp turns onto my street and stops right in front of me. Suddenly, something like an acid flashback hits me. I know this limo. I've seen it all around over the past few days, but never thought it might be tailing me. Still, must have.
It's Kaiser.
Looks like I'm finally about to get some answers. Doors open and a raspy voice comes from inside.
Get the fuck in, Sawinski.
Smile and accept the invitation. There he is, Kaiser, the king of New York, city's information highways.
King of New York, city's information.
Surrounded by screens, speakers, and newfangled technological gizmos of all kinds.
What's happening? Huh.
First impression, he's one repulsive son of a bitch. Dangelo was also a sewer rat. He might have had similar physical disadvantages, but at least he was wholly endearing.
Was he now?
With this guy, there's no room for any kind of sentiment. He's inhumanly cold. I get the feeling he's been like this for ages.
You're getting on my nerves, little lady, and I'm far from being the only one.
I get the sense he meant for all this to be threatening. Instead, I'm elated. After a week of running around like a headless chicken, unsure if I was getting anywhere, finally, I get a compliment. If there's one thing I learned back in Lodestar, it was that you only know you're doing your job correctly when someone powerful gets visibly mad.
Oh, I know that feeling.
I have no idea what you mean.
No need to play dumb. Especially considering you're a natural. The Art Hall, Double Spiral, the SI, Torque's Den. How does it feel to have made enemies absolutely everywhere?
Scoffs at me with pure contempt.
Listen, I will speak as plainly and humanly as possible to get this through your little head, since it's obvious you're not willing to read the obvious symptoms. You were hired for one thing and one thing only. To suck at your job. And you couldn't even do that correctly. People keep stopping in my limo this week, telling me, Kaiser, dear Kaiser, we keep trying to make her understand how hopeless she is, but she just won't get a clue. She doesn't have any evidence, she doesn't have any testimony, but she still goes around knocking on everyone's doors, causing disturbance. It's a fucking headache. Usually, I try to be a jovial host, so I cheer them up. She's not that much of a dunce, I say. She's making mountains out of molehills to make herself seem useful, I say. She's about to stop. But you, in your infinite idiocy, decided to prove me wrong in the most spectacular fashion by knocking on my very own door, forcing my hand, threatening me even. Are you autistic or something?
Oh, huh? Whoa!
Can't read basic fucking social cues? Stop for 1 second and ask yourself. Quit balling, no. Who even fucking wants you to solve anything, let alone this case? See, this city has delicate systems set in place. Usually it's flawless, but ever since you started tinkering with it, it's been having...
Having what?
How dare you interrupt me, young lady?
I clicked the button.
That's fine. It was probably only like less than a sentence anyway.
It's been having...
He's irritating my function, and it's driving people. You're going to interrupt him anyway, see?
Oh, see? Okay.
Yeah.
A weird, disgusting sound. Something between a gargle and a bark escapes his throat.
Unbelievable. Inconceivable.
All I'm hearing is that you're...
A gargle and a bark?
Woof! Like a Scooby-Doo thing.
I would say to people, like, try and do your best impression in the comments of that, but that's not an audio
Try
video.
to spell your best impression.
Oh, that'll be fun.
All I'm hearing is that you're in possession of some information that might help me solve the puzzle I was presented with. If that's the case, I'm gonna ask you to share it.
You're absolutely irredeemable. You fucking garbage dump all alone. How do I get through all the rubbish in your head to drive my point in? Don't you know who I am? Oh yeah, throw that in his face.
Oh, I know who you are. You're the person who had Callahan's place wired, which makes you a possible witness of sorts, or even a suspect.
For Christ's sakes, woman, get real. Even if your accusations were correct, then who, pray tell, would you even report them to? Do you even know what kind of people I answer to?
No. Care to acquaint us?
Is that really what you want? You want to know who pulls the strings? Give me 10 minutes so I can arrange a meeting. But this is your last chance to turn back. If you don't, I can tell you now you're gonna be sorry.
Big Kahuna? Well, finally! Now we're talking.
Yeah. The big kahuna. So, this is your final answer, huh?
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Takes out his phone and begins furiously typing. I relax in the seat. Finally, we're getting somewhere. It might be dangerous, yeah, but at least I will finally get a clue of what's going on.
Good, because I sure don't. I'm just saying, this is the point of no return. My boss doesn't fuck around. Best case, you're gonna beg him to take you in.
Whatever. Keeps grumbling under his breath, but I'm not even listening. I just watch the streets go by.
I think that's like the game's heavy-handed way of saying it's like, this is literally like the end game.
Yeah, but it didn't give me a choice to be like, no thanks, like, this is...
Yeah, usually like an RPG, it's like, this is the last pointer, so you don't want to go back to the previous town and finish up everything you did. But this is a linear story.
Until, out of the blue, I experience a strong sense of foreboding. A ghost is warning me with raspy breath. First spot her in the corner of my eye. She's hovering right next to Kaiser with an expression that's impossible to discern. When she speaks, her voice is machine-like, yet otherworldly. Fine, we're 5 minutes away or so. Get the boys ready to give her the Mel Gibson special. The moment he pulls away his phone, the silhouette disappears.
We're 5 minutes away. Better start figuring out the ways you might want to prove yourself useful to the honcho.
There is no honcho. Oh my god. This motherfucker set me up! Get out of here now. Do the first thing that comes to my mind. I grab the door handle and pull. He notices me scrambling and struggles to grab me.
Hold up, you stupid fucking you.
Glass breaking, loud thuds of something, heavy hitting the asphalt, tires screeching. I think he grabbed me. I think he tried to pull me back in. I think we fell out of the limo. I think his body cushioned my fall. But I'm struggling to process what's going on. It's like I'm blacking out. When I come to, he's already attempting to get up, cursing under his breath. The limo has stopped a little further in, but whoever the driver is, he's not coming out. Did we drive into the church?
Well, I think just, you were driving down the street, you jumped out and took him with you.
But he says the limo has stopped further in.
No. Fucking.
When he stands up, he will be out for vengeance. He's an older vampire who knows how strong he is. I need something that will give me the advantage. The pepper spray, of course. I don't remember the pepper spray. I feel like I had it way back when I was human, so I still have it?
Is that supposed to be like Chekhov's pepper spray?
I guess so.
Right.
It probably won't be as effective as it would be on a living person, but it's still worth a try. Limp toward the asshole, disarm the device, aim towards his eyes, and unload the entire canister. Really? It worked! It actually worked! I keep up the offensive. I punch him, kick him, throw him around, I pummel him, I smash his head against the curb, I struggle to harm him in whatever way I can, like a frightened animal. I don't know how long it lasts. Might be 1 minute, might be eternity. The driver steps out of the limo to help his boss. Once he sees what I'm doing to him, he runs away in a panic. Feels good. Feels absolutely horrible. Once I'm done, I sit on the curb and scream my lungs out to avoid crying.
Oh, I have to go hard, but you can't scream.
It wasn't written in the text.
I'm thinking you'll probably wake up the babies.
Then I look at him.
What's that like foaming out of his sleeve there?
Maybe that's just his fluffy sleeve.
That's it. Okay.
Come on, make a dot noise. He seems shocked, barely hanging on. I know what I've done was extremely stupid. I did hear how he's one of the most influential figures in the city, but that's probably why he never expected to get his ass whooped, especially by someone like me. When he speaks again, his voice is pathetic, surprisingly close to a whimper.
Pay. You're fucking pay. Boss mislaid and abandoned property of a woman.
He's unwell, talking nonsense. I approach him again. You want to have me whacked. What do you think, I'm stupid?
You need to be taught a lesson.
Well, would you look at who ended up teaching you? Now talk. Tell me everything you know about Callahan's final death. All of it.
Oh, what the hell? You can fuck me up however bad you want. I'm still not gonna tell you shit. You try anything, there'll be consequences. There'll be retribution. My mouth shut.
It might be my last chance to solve the case, but if I don't force him to talk, he won't. It's a burgeoning thought in my mind, but it scares even me. Do I dare push him to the edge? Make him suffer until he squeaks?
Well, yeah.
Oh, please. I think this is the last thing that will decide our personality. I feel like if I don't cross this barrier, what do? I run away and then that's it?
Yeah, I mean,
game
you're
is
all
over,
excited
right?
about like cracking the case, and you can't back down now.
All right. Julia will do whatever is necessary.
Hey, you got a new trait.
A new trait. Well, I'm sure you will open your mouth if I do.
I want to see your what a trait. Oh, we got an achievement to it. I missed it. The end
justified means duh. Yeah, so I did loyal unto myself, can't be right or not lying, and justify the means. So that's 3 negative traits and 2 positive traits. So that means we went the negative route.
I challenge your definition of negative. I mean, they're just
dark
traits.
versus light.
You're a vampire.
Well, I'm not saying it's bad we went dark. I'm just saying that's the way we went.
Well, I mean, you're a La Sombra. The dark is in your name.
Hey, I'm not like the other girls.
That's right. You can not have your voice recorded. How are you even recording this?
Well, I'm sure you will open your mouth if I do this. Put a shin against the curb.
Wait, what?
And I kick with all my strength. Great acting, Paul.
Well, I don't want to wake up the children. It is late. They have school tomorrow.
It's a compound fracture. I barely managed to suppress my gag reflex.
Oh, please.
Feels like I'm disassociating.
You fucking psycho! You fucking psycho! Bitch!
Come on, you're a vampire. You'll walk it off.
Yeah, I know. You'll heal that in a day.
He's actually weeping. Like a child. It totally shatters the tough image he was trying to project earlier. Like, this is the first time anyone has ever used physical violence against him. What if it is? You either start talking or the other leg goes. Then the hands. Then I'll get creative.
I'll curb stomp your dick. Oh, he's got a little K monogrammed on his little handkerchief. Look at that.
I try to collect myself and put his other leg against the curb.
A dog! A fucking dog!
Kick connects.
Oh, he said he was gonna talk.
It's a light one, a sadistic feint. It still manages to get a pathetic whimper out of him. And then talk. This had better be good. He looks at me with pure fury and begins to speak through clenched teeth.
You want to know who was in Killian's office the night before he died, little lady? Fucking everyone and their mother was there. Vanderway, Ace, Arthur, Bernard, Timid douche, motherfucking Torque, and the Psyche, all of them. Callahan thought that the only way out was to pit them all against each other. Or to ally with every single one of them. Little did he know. It was in all of their best interest to just let him fucking die.
It's good. It's great. Who killed him?
No fucking idea.
This could be a Murder on the Orient Express situation where it was all of them. Each one took a stab.
Ooh, but there's no stab wounds, right?
I don't know. He's a vampire. Metaphorical stab.
Oh, got it.
That won't do.
They all open the blinds at the same time.
Once again, I put his leg in a potentially disastrous position. In response, he starts howling maniacally.
You fucking see this? You fucking monster woman. I really have no idea.
Who kept complaining to you about me? Who's responsible for getting rid of the evidence?
Everyone. Everyone did. Goddamn Callahan had dirt on everyone and antagonized everyone, so it took everyone to bring him down. All the evidence is gone. Every theory is equally true, so none of it is. Don't you see? Everyone is complicit, so nobody's. Why do you think Sylvie Langley is no longer around? Why is Torque no longer pretending to be a revolutionary? Why are free agents? Why are they shutting you out tomorrow?
Shutting me up? Who?
Can't you connect the dots? What are you, stupid?
I like your PC editing. Thank you. We have enough violence against women in this world. Somebody's about to get...
Julia.
Look back over my shoulder and see Kadir.
I want to break a leg. Bloody hell, what is wrong with you?
Kadir?
You're out of control. This is why I didn't want to get you involved. I had a hunch. A hunch that the moment you get a whiff of true power, all brakes will be off.
Look, you're talking nonsense.
You're out of your damn mind. I should have you in for a potential masquerade breach.
Just let me explain myself. This ugly fucker tried to have me beaten, maybe even killed. Don't you care about that?
Well, no idea, Sheriff. She's dangerous. Psychotic.
Shut the fuck up. Can't control myself. I kick him where I know it'll hurt him the most.
My leg.
Stop this right now, you goddamn idiot.
I freeze in place. I've never heard him use that tone with me.
I will take care of you in a moment. In my car. Kaiser, hold on.
I'm not done questioning him yet. It looks like there's a major conspiracy to...
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, and you're gonna be glad I leave it at that.
If you do that, I'm gonna have to assume you're complicit.
That's with 2 strikes in my book. You do not want to risk a third.
So that's that? Tell me, what was all of my footwork even for?
We'll be seeing each other, little lady.
Can you hear this?
Go home, Julia.
But...
Go home.
Fine!
All I can hear is Hamilton.
I will.
Go home, Alexander. That's an order from your commander. But go home.
Call me Julia one more time!
Call me a whore one more time.
But before I do, I take a quick peek into Kaiser's limo, still abandoned a little further down the street. I skipped the church visit again tonight. I want more time to finish this report. Who knows? It might be my final one. I want to spend more time with Dakota. Yeah. Just forget about the rest of the world. A lot happened tonight. I can still manage to be at our apartment an hour earlier than usual. She should be glad. All right. So...
I was really worried that like if you showed up an hour earlier, like you would catch her with somebody else or something. So you're not supposed to be home yet.
Well, I don't know. We were about to find that out, right? Like, save that for next time. Are we about to?
Cliffhanger.
What are we gonna catch by coming home an hour earlier?
I keep thinking like every episode is gonna be the final episode, but they keep dragging it out.
Well, I feel like we're getting pretty close. We have all of our traits now, so now we've determined our outcome, whether we're gonna get the good ending or the good ending.
The good ending or the good ending? Oh, good.
No,
At least we know
the good ending or the right ending.
What? And the good ending's not the right ending?
Yeah, people are torn on this.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah. So yeah, next time we'll see what's up with our girlfriend and we'll figure out what's up with Kadir. Do you think Kadir's complicit? Do you think he's part of the conspiracy?
You got to click one more because I can't go until next week without knowing if we caught her in something.
I sneak into the apartment as silently as possible, trying to surprise her. When I reach the bedroom, I see something unexpected. It hits me like a ton of bricks. At the beginning, I can't properly parse the sight. When I finally understand what I'm looking at, it causes a wave of terror and disgust to swell up inside my chest.
No, I hope she's not, like, dead.
I bet you she is dead.
No.
Let's leave it for next time.
Don't you dare. I won't be able to sleep at night. Oh.
She's wearing black instead of white?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Ah! She's shocked to see me. Doesn't know what to do. She's like a deer in the headlights or a schoolgirl poorly trying to hide her misdeeds from a teacher. You're early. Yes, I am. These are my clothes, Dakota. These are my cigarettes. That's my jewelry on the table.
Are you trying all my things?
Yeah, I was, and I'm pretty sure... God almighty, I thought I was just being neurotic whenever I noticed something dreadfully familiar in you. Huh?
But she's wearing like a black wig. I don't know.
I could explain.
Explain what?
Please do explain. Good 10 seconds of awkward silence pass. I can hear her spending an eternity in her head. This isn't what it looks like. What does it look like?
Why is she being so defensive? It's like she's trying on our girlfriend's stuff. Big deal.
Is she just pretending to be me? Is she like imagining she's me? Like, oh, look, that ghost is there in the corner again. Is she impersonating me? Is she like going out and pretending to be me in the streets?
Only she has like a black wig somewhere.
I mean, she might. Oh my God. It's exactly what it looks like. Which is what? I will just come out and say it.
Please say it because we don't know.
Dakota. You single white femaling me?
So yes, he's trying to assume her identity.
It all makes sense now. No.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. No, come on, no. I thought I was a leech in this relationship. What?
I really think she's jumping to conclusions.
Wow,
here.
I don't get this at all. We watched that movie together. We made fun of Jennifer Jason Leigh together. A roommate stalking and intimidating her own roommate. Ha 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 ha. What a concept, right? In a far more sinister way without knowing it. Don't be silly. Silly? I've never been this serious with you. So whenever she put on my makeup, whenever I used her as a mirror, was she always hyping me up because she wanted to live vicariously through me? The horror.
What?
So many little things make sense in retrospect. The little ways you kept modulating your speech after me, the weird ways our tastes were always compatible, some of your art feeling so familiar. None of it would trigger any alarms by itself, and yet... she's as humanly embarrassed as possible. Julia, listen! Don't fucking touch me!
Come on!
I can barely think of anything more repulsive than being put on a pedestal like this. It's like the other person is begging me to perceive them as something worse, if not outright subhuman.
Oh god, we should have saved this. Everything in my head would have been much better than this.
Don't be like this, just don't. You know, this would probably be infinitely more palatable if you talked to me like a person here and not like, I don't know, your fucking mommy. You know what? Fuck you. I've been locked in this apartment by myself because of the pandemic shit going on. It's fucking me up. I don't know you have it hard right now, so I don't want to bother you. Yeah, I was counting on you to ask about how I'm feeling. Babe, how's your work-life balance? Aren't you feeling claustrophobic? Hey, is it just me or is our drug supply weirdly shrinking too fast? But no, you were too much of a self-centered bitch. You regularly suck me dry and it's okay, but the moment I entertain the thought of taking something in return, I'm crossing a line. Oh no, I'm a member of an immortal elite secret society. It's so hard to cope, Dakota, whenever I gracefully decide to visit our apartment. Let's just do what I enjoy until the pain stops. Fuck you. Fuck you. Sincerely. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. There's nothing you can do to take and nothing you've learned by now that just taking won't make you happy, you big dumb bitch.
No idea where any of this is coming from.
Stop. Just... I'm destined for better things than this.
Fuck.
Get the fuck out of here. You disgust me. Isn't it Dakota's apartment? I thought it was Dakota's apartment. Dakota breaks down crying. She grabs a jacket and a purse, then runs out of the apartment.
So,
I don't try to stop her. I stand there for a short while in silence and then lock the door. Did she take her keys? I don't know. I don't know if I care. I desired for someone else, not for myself. For a way to open a different world, not get locked back in mine. This is the stupidest girlfriend argument ever. She's just like fabricating problems to be mean to her girlfriend to drive her away.
Yeah, it's like when you expect like she comes in, I see something and it sickens me to my very core. She's trying on my things. Like, she's perfectly entitled. Is she mad because she took a smoke and they're really expensive in New York?
No, she's mad because Dakota's trying to be her and she wanted Dakota to be the anti-her. She didn't want to be with someone like herself because she hates herself. She wanted to be with someone who would help her escape from herself. She's being entirely selfish. Dakota's 100% right. I'm entirely on Dakota's side in this argument.
This is so dumb.
I collapse onto the soft bed. I smell her perfume. I always liked it, but now it makes me slightly nauseous. I try not to think of Dakota. I think of Kaiser. I think of Kadir. I think of Hallahan. No matter what I think, I sense doom.
Yeah, that's a good place to leave off.
I feel like I've just sealed my fate, whatever it may be. Everything fucking sucks.
Yeah. Story for one.
Back into the void. Back into the void. Back into the void. Welp.
Jesus Christ.
Yep, well, next time we're gonna rest, and then I guess Endgame is coming. Doesn't it sound like Endgame is coming? Sealed my fate, it's my doom, back into the void.
Well, we still have to talk to Justin McElroy, apparently.
Back into the void. No, I think that was just our second option for tonight. I think that option's gonna go away after we rest.
I'm so upset with myself. I did not just wait until whenever our next recording session is so I could think about something much more interesting than whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, we just spent 8 minutes on that.
Yeah, sure did. Well, at least now we know that our audience won't also have to go through the same misery of thinking about something infinitely more enjoyable than...
Put in the comments what would have been better for her to walk in on.
Yeah, and all the comments just say literally anything.
Yeah, get creative.
God.
Spin us a story.
Why am I so angry?
Ugh. Sorry, Paul. Sorry.
I had a headcanon and they messed it all up.
Hey, what you thinking about?
What's my favorite jams?
Boysenberry.
Boysenberry, my favorite. Did you ever watch the Beetlejuice cartoon?
Yes, I loved that cartoon.
That's
I was obsessed with that cartoon.
The only line I remember is at the end of one episode, he gets a pie in his face and he says, Poisonberry, my favorite. And then, Iris away.
Did you know Beetlejuice the musical is coming to Charlotte?
Yes, you mentioned.
We have to go see it.
I know, it'll sort of be a nice palate cleanser after Frozen the musical that we took our daughter to.
Hands down, Beetlejuice is one of the best pieces of musical theater I've seen in a very, very long time.
This coming from a big Phantom fan.
And a musical theater major. Like, my education is musical theater. Beetlejuice is good stuff. It's a good show.
I'll have to listen to the...
And it's also about Beetlejuice, which is also a park.
I'll have to listen to the OBC.
No, you go see the show. You go in blind like I did.
Awesome. You'll enjoy it exactly the way I did, or no?
Yes. by yes, I mean no.
Great. I always thought you were easy to read. It's good to know.
Are you all enjoying the Paul Lisa show?
The fuck? I'm so angry. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, there's been much less RPing in this game than I thought there would be. Like, I guess I made 5 important decisions, and that will give us an ending. But I feel like it doesn't change the course of what's happened.
Yeah, my feeling is that no matter the choices we made, we would probably still end up the same place. Like, maybe the interstitials would be a little bit different, but
yeah,
I can't imagine that this thing would branch off that dramatically.
Yeah. I feel like there's much less.
I feel like we're not doing a very good job psyching them up for the next episode.
No, I feel like this game, last time when you said you like coteries better than this game, you got a lot of pushback in the comments. People were like, what? Coteries, all you did was point and click and go through the whole thing. And this one, your choices actually matter and make a difference.
Do they though?
But in this one, I'm just like, I know there's 2 endings. You guys have told me that. So it's really only 2 choices that it eventually comes down to get one of the 2 endings.
It's going to be like a Mass Effect thing. It's like everything, like all your choices matter until they don't, and then you get to the end and you just push one of 3 colored buttons for a different color ending. Yeah,
I feel like there's been a lot less role-playing opportunity here, and also a lot less vampire opportunity. I haven't really had any chance to eat anyone. I want to do more eating of
There
people.
has been a surprising lack of anything vampire-y, besides the angst.
Using the shadows was vampire-y and stuff.
I do like the Sombras.
I do want to talk to more ghosts. I'm going to find out what that ghost in Dakota's apartment is up to.
That is mysterious. And how come we got to see the ghost of the person on the other end of the cell phone and what's-his-face was talking?
No, I think that was a ghost in the limo with us that was warning me what the cell phone was saying. The ghost was being my buddy.
Interesting.
Do you think if we hadn't gone dark, if our last choice hadn't been to choose a dark choice, we wouldn't have fought with Dakota? We would have had a nice last scene with Dakota?
No, that's probably... Because, I think this is like sort of like end of the 2nd act, beginning of the 3rd, where it's like the lowest point. Kadir's mad at me. Apparently I was going to be bumped off. I wasn't expected to succeed. I alienated my girlfriend for absolutely 0 reason.
I really hope Kadir's not in on the conspiracy. I like him and I want him to turn out to be good. That's my hope.
Well, who can you trust in this crazy vampire world?
I could trust Tamika. Maybe I could go out west with her. Follow on the vampire.
Yeah, she seemed cool. Yeah.
I liked her.
Yeah.
And I think I had a crush on her. Clearly I'm over my girlfriend. Just looking for an excuse out of that relationship.
I'm not talking about it anymore.
All right, other vampire news. I started watching First Kill, the vampire show on Netflix. It's pretty good so far. I'm like 5 episodes in.
Yeah.
It's about 2 high school girls. One's a vampire, one's a vampire hunter. They have a Romeo and Juliet relationship, and their families are
that's interesting.
Like enemies.
Okay.
Yeah, it's based on a short story that was in a book that we read for Vampire Book Club, so it's nice to see something that I read now come to the big screen.
Vampire Book Club? What's that?
You can join Vampire Book Club by joining my Discord server.
But legit, you should.
I was worried First Kill would be very male-gazy because all the advertising just was showing the 2 girls kissing and making out. Like, every single ad was just showing that part. And yes, they do that, but in the show, it's actually not done very male-gazy, in my opinion.
Yeah, they know what's going to get people in to watch it.
Right.
And you get them hooked with a lesbian kiss, then
don't be
it
afraid
turns
of
into
that.
a drama.
It's actually not that bad. It's about the feelings, not about the titillation. So that's nice.
Is that Liberty Island right there? No. Where's Liberty Island?
It's in this area.
Is it?
I think that's Ellis Island.
That's Ellis?
Mm.
Oh, okay. You can't see where I'm pointing, but right to the left of McElroy there. Oh, I have to brush up on my New York geography. Anyway, it's right outside Astoria. Look at that, right outside Astoria.
Oh, look at here. It's New Jersey, just outside Astoria.
Yeah, Staten Island, right outside Astoria. What you thinking about?
My favorite jam. Also, I watched Vampire in the Garden, which I mentioned on the book club stream, but I'll mention it here as well. Vampire in the Garden is also on Netflix. It's only 5 episodes. I heard it was originally a movie that they just split into 5 episodes, but it's an anime movie, and it's very, very good. Highly recommend. I loved it.
What's the show we just finished watching?
The Great.
The Great, yes.
Which doesn't have any vampires in it, but it was very funny.
Well, I mean, it does have a lot of sort of leechy people in it. So.
Yeah, it has a vampiric aristocracy. It's metaphorical vampires.
Yeah, they drink
that's exactly
lot
what
of,
it is.
A lot of red wine.
Yeah, and smash a lot of crystal glasses.
Highly recommended. Season 1, better than Season 2. Season 2 is still not bad.
You did not like season...
There is no season.
Oh, I'm thinking What We Do in the Shadows, because we finished that
No, Season 3 was...
You did not like Season 3,
No,
What We Do in the
every
Shadows.
episode was a
But
big
Season
dick
4
joke.
is coming out. Maybe it will be less dick jokey.
I hope so.
Now we're watching Hannibal, finally.
Yes.
I know we're like 10 years behind the times, but...
God, has it been out that long?
We are watching Hannibal.
I'll watch anything with Mads Mikkelsen in it. Ever since Death Stranding, he's my hero.
And I've also been watching Vampire Diaries. I'm about 12 episodes into that. There's only 8 years worth of it to catch up on.
You're talking to a guy who's just finally watching the second season of Witcher and still has not watched the second season of Mandalorian, nor Obi-Wan. I have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, we do. I
have to edit a podcast all about Star Wars stuff, so I'm kind of like, spoilers.
I do most of my watching on the treadmill at the gym, and going to the gym is hard. So,
That's why I just work out in the garage. It's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Less of a commute.
But fewer vampires.
You got me there, though I don't know our neighbors that well. Could be. Anywho, what's next?
What's next? We'll play some more Swan Song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta play my character up to where we are.
Yes. And
we still have to do Vampire. I'm getting more and more curious about Vampire.
I keep getting mixed messages. Some people say it sucks. Some people say it's great.
I don't think it's going to be fantastic. That's probably why it was on sale for $5. But
yeah,
it's a narrative experience. And what else are we going to do until Bloodlines 2 comes out?
It's never coming out.
Oh no! Don't ruin it for me.
I'm sure it will come out. It'll be out any day now.
Not any day now. Oh, come on, now you're just patronizing me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Love you.
That's part of how our relationship flows. Mwah.
Good night, everybody.
That was me kissing my wife. Blah.
Gotta say blah.
Ugh.
It's not ending if you don't say blah.